Hola, mi gente. It's Paulie here on the pre-show of the Latino Slant, and the American Cholo is here in the green room. But we're gonna play a couple songs. Well, actually, we're gonna play one song and one trailer technically. And this first one is from this movie called The Mambo Kings. I don't know if anyone ever. The music is actually better than the movie. The movie's kind of silly. But I got to tell you, the music kicks ass. This is a Tito Puente, Rancancan, and it's part of this. We're going to talk about these movies that came out in the late 80s till the late 90s. You had a succession of like incredible U.S. Latino films, and we're including this one. I'm including this one, The Mambo Kings. And this is one of the debuts of Antonio Banderas. And let's play this song. And I will say hello to you if you're in the chat. But yeah, man, this is called Rancancan, and Tom from Midnight's Edge loves the soundtrack so much that he plays it pretty regularly on his Mead radio. Yeah. And here, a bunch of Latinos hanging out at a salsa club. And then we're gonna go into the stereotype a little bit. Guy brings a gun and a knife. Who do you think is gonna win? Oh my God! What's happening, everybody? My name is Paulie here on the Latino Slant. Make sure you're saying hello to us in the chat. We have some members of the channel here. We have Eldritch Lord Haster. He's also one of our awesome mods. It's Courtney. She's a mod and a member of the channel. We love her so much. We got some new people in La Casita on Yada Padilla. Orale. Always adelante for thanks for subscribing. Look at I got some new people subscribing. Oh man, hey Gill, we hit over 2,300 people, subscribers. Woo! Yeah, man. Yeah, Gil's like, oh yeah, talk to me, and you got like 10,000. Okay, so Mambo Kings came out in '92. It's get the soundtrack. I mean, the movie's kind of silly, but it's got to do with the American dream, and there's a lot of ways that all these movies have this in common, including Selena. And the movie came out in 1997, 2 years after her death, and oddly enough, they re-released it this past week in the movie theaters. In the movie theaters, you can catch it. We already got one of our members went to go see it. They loved it. The cut, like the actual quality of the film, wasn't great, they said, and that kind of bummed me out. You think Warner Brothers could do like a cleanup job, but hey, I'm gonna be asking Gill. I'm asking American Cholo about this double standard treatment that brown folk get, man. Because you would think that they would like do the whole 4K cleanup, and they didn't. It didn't look good. But we can enjoy this right here, and once we come out of this trailer, we'll start the show, and I'll chat with you guys. And please say hello to everyone in the chat. That would be great. We love that you are here. Now, Jennifer Lopez stars in this. Edward James Olmos. A U.S. Latino film from like the 80s and 90s is not legit unless Eddie Olmos wasn't in it. If he wasn't in it, forget it. It wasn't legit. All right, here we go. Enjoy this trailer, old school trailer.
Warner Brothers is proud to present the extraordinary story of a girl with a talent that would come to touch us all.
It is Selena.
Someone found the letter you wrote me on the radio. But the sailor read it loud and sang on the radio.
Como La Flor from Selena y Latinos, which had just skyrocketed to the #1 spot.
I love you, and I'm very proud of you.
With every triumph
He is so cute. But Mom, you can't tell Dad.
came heartbreak.
You don't think I know who you are? I come from the streets. I know what a bum musician is.
I'm not gonna stop seeing him, Dad.
I'm not gonna have this in my family.
You're such a good friend.
And with every success
You know we got a problem with Yolanda.
came the risk of betrayal.
Selena, I'm worried.
I've never taken anything from Selena.
Or
Discover
nominated,
the true story.
well deserved.
To
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The Slant? Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
Sorry, I was muted, guys. Let's do this.
That's better.
Get used to the scene. Get used to this channel. I'm an old man and I do this quite a lot. What I was saying is that we're such a great show. You're in the right spot. The Latino Slant. Orale, mi gente. ¿Qué pasó? To all our international amigos in India, the UK, and beyond. Welcome. Welcome. It seems now more than ever the American dream is getting more and more elusive. And yet, I say to you this from my little studio on the internet in Los Angeles. In every sense of it, I am living the American dream. I think the American dream and greed is a whole nother story. From people trying to get in legally or not legally, to skin color, to preference. It's can be a really mind-boggling, frustrating situation by situation, but we can all kind of agree that to live a happy life in the States seems to be getting a little more challenging. Now, I'm going to bring on the American Cholo, and we're going to talk about films. But I realize that there's something in common with these films. Now, let me bring up these movies right now. I call it the U.S. Latino golden age of cinema. From the late 80s to the late 90s, you have movies such as Mi Familia, American Me, Mambo Kings, Stand and Deliver, Desperado. Now, what I see at the end of the day with all these movies is the American dream. Whether they're achieved or not, whether they're shattered, or whether our heroes, our anti-heroes, end up imprisoned, dead, or stardom, whatever it is, it's the American dream, just from a different pair of eyes. And in different approaches, different directions, and different time eras. Whether you're Desi Arnaz and I Love Lucy, Selena and Tejano, or even a gang member who seemingly doesn't fit in with his own family, but yet creates a family of his own when he's in the prison system. All these movies represent so many great ideals and so many great conflicts and great drama, that the through line is there, man. It's that American dream. So it kind of hit me. Because I was like, I don't just want to talk about movies with my brother Gill. Because, Gill's deep. Gill's deep. Gill's got a lot going on. Boulevard Nights, absolutely. Boulevard Nights was in the 70s. I talk about it. I talk about it all the time. Because my crowd knows that at the end of the day, I'm also Chicano. So, Orale PJ. We got a great international crowd here. So I didn't want to just talk about movies just for movies, but I also know that Gill is on the front line of a lot of political issues that affect raza, that affect brown people, and then I think at the end of the day affect American people. To me, he is the Latino coming up Tim Pool. That's really the best way I can put it, man. And there's something way more punk rock and punk aesthetic being, I would say, let's just say this, a Cholo, or I would say Chicano. He would say Cali Mac, than being a Latinx. There is nothing, absolutely 100% nothing punk rock about being a Latinx. All right, I've talked enough. We got some great people in the chat. We're gonna get into it, and we'll say hello to you on the way. Don't be afraid and say hello to us. I have Gill from the American Cholo here with us. Hey,
I even bring my own theme music here, man.
Boom.
What's going on, Paulie? What's going on, everybody in the chat? How we doing, people? Let's do it. Let's do it.
You guys could tell that he's like still in host mode. He's like, "How you doing, people?" I love it.
Yeah, people always say, "Gill, why you always go and try to take over other people's stuff?" No, we're just having that conversation, man.
Yeah, no. Hey, take it over. Take it over. First of all, thank you for being here, my brother.
My pleasure, man.
How was your day today?
My day was it was a long day, man. I was supposed to get off early, go do some stuff, put a speaker on my truck, come in, and my damn city inspector never showed up. So I was up in Pacific Palisades till about 4:00. So my brother came in, ate real quick, showered, and got ready for you. But I was looking forward to this all day, and now the energy's there, and I'm good to go. Let's do this, Paulie.
Let's do it. So these movies, and they're scrolling down below, right?
Yes, sir.
El Norte, La Bamba, Stand and Deliver, Mambo Kings, Blood In, Blood Out. Here's what I got. It's an equation, right?
Right.
I got immigration, musicians, education, gangs, the American dream. Like they all, at the end of the day, that's what they're all going for. This American existence, this American identity experience that's unique. We're not talking about having an experience in El Salvador,
right,
in Honduras, in Mexico. It's here.
It's the brown experience here in America for us. So it was kind of shedding light on our experiences and what we have gone through.
What are oh, you know what? And oh God, Gasson just is. I knew there was one I forgot, man, and that is a real big one.
Born East LA.
That is a real big one.
And I'm sure there's probably some more in there we won't catch.
Yeah, but Born in East LA, dealing with immigration issues on a comedic level, to me is way, way better than like the pain of my people suffering dramas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What were some of those films back in the day? Are there any of those that kind of that you're still fans of?
Of the films that you have down here?
Yeah.
I would say just about every single one of them. I mean, Mi Familia was a great film. Desperado was a great film. From Dusk to Dawn was a great film. Selena's an absolute classic that people still watch. Stand and Deliver. Those are all pretty much movies. If I'm scrolling through the TV and I catch them, I'll watch them. It's almost like a Clint Eastwood Western. There's certain Western movies that you go through, and there's such good movies, such classics that you will stop. So I would say just about every single one of these movies, we all know a line from, Richie or Stand and Deliver or American Me,
right.
Open Your Eyes, Pie Face. There's always something in one of these movies that all the tios can be at a family function, and some tio's going to say a line from one of these movies, and everybody's going to know what it is.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me, little puppet.
Yikes. You know what's funny? I follow those guys on Instagram. They were at like some convention in San Antonio, and there was like a three actor reunion there. Danny De La Paz,
Yeah.
Danny Villarreal, and the guy who played the brother who had the wedding.
Right. The guy with the
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah, that was great, dude. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, I think Danny the Positive's out in Texas, and he be sporting a hat brand too. He's also got going on, so you might actually.
Dude, I love
those
his
hats,
hats.
right?
I love his hats, man. He's got a strong hat game.
Yeah, your hat game's good too. You just got to get that kind of hat, Paulie. I can't really wear it. My head's a little bit too round, man. But you got the look, baby. You got the look.
My head is big, man. Don't get it wrong. Well,
It's
Romy,
the camera.
my
You got the
girlfriend, will
filter
tell
on.
you
You got the
I have a
filter on.
huge head. My dad, I look like my dad, but he's got like a small.
Ah, shit.
Can any of these movies be made today in the quality, the level, the aesthetic of when they were made?
I think most Cali Max like to call it, especially Chicanos, most are going to tell you absolutely not, right? Because people hate to see, their childhood stuff be remade. But if you look at history, every single song you pretty much listen to today is remasters from something else. It's got a beat from something else. It's got a chorus line from something else, and it's all pretty much regurgitated, right? So there's some that I believe you can. I would say you could probably do La Bamba. I'd say you could definitely do a Stand and Deliver.
Okay, hold it right there. Hold it right there. Could you do La Bamba today with the same type of casting, meaning not cast a Latino as Richie Valens? Because they cast Lou Diamond Phillips, and I loved Lou Diamond. Don't get me wrong.
I do as
he
well.
He is one of he's come on the show. He's a great gentleman.
Nice.
But that's what I mean. Can they be not remade, Gill?
Well,
can they be made today?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, and that's the problem with us as Latinos. We don't speak up. We don't say anything. That's something that we need to hold studios accountable for. We need to hold producers accountable for. We need to hold production companies accountable for. You can. It'll. Could you imagine? It's almost like a blackface, right? Just because they look the part and all that, but they're not. No, you need to get somebody and it also goes to, you need to get somebody of some kind of Latin descent, because sometimes they'll say that what's his name, the one that played his brother,
Isai Morales.
Isai Morales I believe he's Puerto Rican or something.
He's Puerto Rican, New York. Yes.
Yeah, and the problem, this is the problem that I consider myself a Chicano when you break it down, right? But people say no, because you're from Honduras. But I grew up Chicano, right? But I would hear this from Chicano people. Oh man, he's not even Mexican. And I'm like, dude, that's why we're so divided here. So what? He's still Latino. So we need to, you're already complaining about he's not Mexican, but you got the guy playing the lead role and he ain't Mexican. Ain't nobody saying anything about him because we love to hate on one another. So it would be, if they were to make La Bamba, it would have to be an all Latino cast. But this is the thing, they never want us to have our own thing, Paulie. Because what they'll push next is we'll have a whole Latino cast. You know what they'll say? Hey, you don't have an Afro Latino in there. That's the stuff they'll start pushing. And I forgot what movie was that one in the Bronx they did. And there was a Latino cast. I think there was some dancing. It was young kids. I'm not sure what the movie was.
In the Heights.
There you go. And that movie started getting a lot of slack before. They don't have enough Afro Latinos. I'm like, wait a minute, dude. We can't even start our own stuff before you guys start putting your color into it. And that's what's going on. And until we actually kind of push, like, nah, dude, we want a full Latino cast for this kind of stuff. And I think it'll work. I think it would definitely work.
Real fast, can one of my mods in the chat grab American Cholo's YouTube channel link? Let's start promoting that. That would be great. I know you have some of your homies here. It looks like Porte Se Bien is here.
Porte Se Bien. What's going on, buddy? There you go. He's got a podcast as well, man. Funny.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Ondiada Padilla.
Ondiada Padilla. That's another one of my lowest subscribers. Yeah, I got a few of them. I just went live and tried to bring them over here to you guys so we can have these nice conversations.
Well, that's really nice of you, man. The Robert Escobar show. All right. We said, why are all Latinos in entertainment caricatures like George Lopez or Carlos Mencia?
When he says caricatures, does that mean like portrayed like comics or kind of?
Well, no, a caricature is kind of like a
like a
kind of
cantinflas type.
it's like a it's like the frito bandito, and it's not the real thing.
Right, right.
Okay, it's like the accent, but not the authenticity. You know, they're just doing the accents like this, senor. It's a
But I
caricature. Yeah.
I kind of disagree. I think George Lopez was a great thing for us. Carlos Mencia, I've had this thing in the shelf for a little bit, and I'm gonna do a piece on Carlos Mencia and how much Joe Rogan bullied him, and how Joe Rogan canceled that guy.
Dude,
And
that's a big deal.
yeah, and people don't understand. They're like, "What happened to Carlos Mencia?" Well, Carlos Mencia got bullied by a
Hmm.
guy named Joe Rogan who tries to act like this nice, sweet guy, and he just sat there and bullied the guy. And the reason I believe he bullied him was because he was Latino. And you got Joe Rogan on air talking about, "Well, you ain't even Mexican," and we fell for that. That's how ignorant we were back then. We fell for a white man coming and telling a Latino, who was, by the way, the next Dave Chappelle. He already had his show on Comedy Central. Dave Chappelle was going out because he had his issues. Mencia's comedy, you YouTube it if you haven't seen it, it is hilarious. And they're saying Mencia stole the jokes of a border crossing from a Jew guy. If a Latino guy can't make that joke, and you're telling me the Jew guy is the guy that's supposed to make that joke? No, absolutely not.
Well, let's get this straight. A lot of comics borrow from
Yes.
others. All it is, you know, and a lot of these comics don't write their own jokes. They pay
Right.
people to, you know. Yeah, it was a little. I was disappointed in that. I see your point. I thought there was some funny stuff with Carlos. I George Lopez is launching a record label with Andy Vargas
Right.
from Santana, so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
I can't wait to see your video on this, man.
Oh yeah,
Can't wait to see
I've been
it.
working on it for a few weeks. I just got to get it all together and see if Joe Rogan wants to beat me up. He can get in line with everybody else.
Aw. Man, I got you, man. I got you.
That's right.
I'll
Paulie,
teach
that's
you a little
right.
bit of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. We'll
No,
manipulate joints.
don't worry, I know crazy.
Crazy. Um. So yeah, have you seen anything new in Latino entertainment that you can say, you know, that's a great show, that's a great movie?
You know where I find a lot of good shows that are, I think Netflix. I think Netflix is one of the one of the biggest platforms that you can find a lot of Latino shows. I really dug which one is it? The one from East LA, the not Gentrification, I think they call it. Not
Gentrified.
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 That's a great show. That was a
Uh-huh.
great show. The other one, On My Block, it was another one. I thought it was a great show. The thing with us a lot of times, Paulie, is we look for a reason not to like a show. That
Right.
is our curse, man. That is our curse. When it came to On My Block, oh man, that vato wasn't. They want American Me. You're not gonna get American Me because it's
No,
not. It's not.
I
Gonna
don't want
sell.
American Me.
No, but people will sit there and say
I
that,
hear
oh,
you.
those vatos
Yeah.
ain't real. Like they'll bring that ignorance to the show, and if that's the case, you're gonna lose the whole block of the people you're trying to get. You're trying to not just get Latinos, you're trying to get other people, executives, to sit there and say, I could watch this with my kids. All right, this is a good show. Why? Because then it'll go national. You don't want it. The problem is we get stuck on, we just want it for the hood, but then it's not gonna grow. You need to make it appealing to the whole thing, because at bottom line, what these guys in the studios are trying to do, they're trying to make money. And if your
Absolutely.
dope ain't selling, they're gonna shelf it. They're gonna say, no, that stuff's no good. So we need to broaden our horizon and bring different flavors of stuff into the Latino stuff. Right? I think those two are some of the biggest shows that really off the back just kind of hit me.
My problems with Gentrified was just the writing and the identity of the show. There were
Right.
some episodes I loved, and some
Right.
storylines I was just like, this is not good. But you know, I can do that because I'm watching it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
You're supporting
form
it.
an opinion, but you don't want to just hate something just because it's like, you I don't know, maybe you watch the trailer or watch one episode. You know, screw this.
Right. You didn't invest in it. The Mayans was another one. When I first was like,
Ooh,
and then I started getting into it. I'm like, all right, dude, this is good. This is good. What
That's a
we
great.
what,
Yeah.
what we need to get into to really like make this thing go bigger, we need to get some guys into like the superhero roles. into actual, not just a Batman, but some type of superhero, because we're never the superheroes. And if we are the superheroes, we're that Cholo guy making fire. I forgot what that movie was with you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
The Cholo guy making fire. Be Diablo from Suicide Squad.
There you go. The Suicide Squad. We get the Cholo making fire. That's in the thing. I can't do this. I can't. Like, come on, man. It's so corny. Like, come on, give us something better.
But David Ayer made a Tax Collector after that. That was pretty cool.
I thought Tax Collector was a good movie.
Yeah.
I think it could have been a great movie. I think
it could have been a great, absolutely.
It could have been a great movie. I think there were some scenes that were just le pusiste de más. But it was a good movie. I supported it. I paid for it and everything. I didn't even watch a bootleg. I paid for it. So that's what we got to do. We got to support our shows. And a lot of times we don't. I think that's why a lot of these movies fell out. Like the ones you had down there, La Bamba, Desperado, all that. That was on in East Born still. It was on the late 80s, right? All through the 90s. We were pretty hot.
For 10 years, it was.
For 10 years, we were hot. But what happened? It was, I think it was a combination of things. I think one, it was a tribalism of gangs that started separating a lot of the audience, and I think two was by the 2000s rolled in, Chicanos, Cholos, all that was now seen as corny because there was so many roles in movies that we were made to be the corny people, and we weren't the cool people anymore. So nobody wants to make anything about movie about corny people, and that's how Hollywood portrayed us, and it still continues to portray us for that reason, like the guy in the barrel. I mean, the guy with the fire, Diablo.
Yeah, Jay Hernandez, the actor.
Yeah, so I think that like I said, the corny part of that is what kind of started driving people to go away from it, and that's when the studios kind of fell off. And now it seems like we're getting traction to make a big and huge comeback because we are the audience. We have our own audience. We really don't need any other audience. We have our audience to make stars.
I got those numbers right here, and I know you got them in our notes because Mexican Iron Man produced our show, make us look good. But we got a super chat for $5, PJ Orville Nation, all the way via España. I think he's still in Spain. I like the way Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias can tackle almost any topic with laughter, and he's pretty clean with his comedy.
He is.
And we need that as what we need, family stuff just gets a bad rap, man. Family friendly, what happened to that?
No, it's because it's the shock thing. It's the more the internet goes, it's more shock value because nowadays the stuff kids have seen at the age of 13, we hadn't seen until like the age of 18. They could see anything from all kind of adult film stuff to murder stuff to killing stuff. So the shock value for our youth and even for us as adults isn't as bad as it was, and I think that's why people started getting dirtier in comedy. But when you got a guy like Fluffy doing comedy like that means that guy has major skill in what he's doing.
Oh, I love him, and he just sold out Dodger Stadium, first comic ever.
Man. That's what's up. That's
PJ. This is for you. Thanks a lot for your super chat.
That's very cool. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, he's got another one here. Speaking of Latina superheroes, La Maga Van Pierra. Who is that?
La Maga. I don't know. I haven't heard of La Maga. Maybe it's a comic character.
Don't do another super chat, PJ, but just let me know. Someone else said Ghost Rider in Agents. Was it Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Robbie Reyes.
Ghost Rider.
Is Ghost Rider. He's the new Ghost Rider. Okay,
no, but that was Nicolas Cage. No, you're talking about the guy with the motorcycle. That's Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
But that was Nicolas Cage.
He's now Chicano.
Oh, they're making him now Chicano. Very cool.
Yeah. Hey, Maria Tiantelli, how are you? Beautiful. Thanks for being here. Yes. Well, there's everyone's chiming in now. Gentefied was not good. Machete. Everyone's got opinions, and I love that, man.
Everybody's got opinion, but to me, Gentefied was good, hands down. Listen, if you could do better, go and do better. Everybody's got a great opinion, but I guarantee you, the majority of people that will say Gentefied is not good will go watch a black show and say, "Oh, this is great." Because the problem is we don't relate to our own nowadays because we don't see them as our own, and I see that a lot.
Well, so a couple of things, right? Gentefied is canceled,
Right.
and I just feel as you know, as bipolar as it was. Some episodes are really good, some were just not. For me, I never felt that it spoke to a wide audience
Right.
beyond the Latino audience, because you have to be a hit beyond the Latino community. This show called The Promised Land, which is on ABC and now Hulu, I really believe it has done that. It's I don't know if you've got a chance to check it out. It's
I
10
haven't yet.
episodes.
I haven't.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff. But it knows what it is though. It's like a drama, kind of battling over wineries, a
Right.
little bit of some Godfather feeling, a little bit of Dynasty, but then it's got this huge immigration backstory, and I was
Okay.
like, all right, I appreciated it. It wasn't the pain of my people.
Right.
It was decent. Blue Beetle is a DC movie coming out next year starring Cholo. That is going to be the very first lead in a major motion picture. DC, the kid that plays Miguel Diaz in Cobra Kai?
Oh yeah, I saw you. I think you did a video on that like a
I
day or
just
two
did it.
ago, right?
Yeah.
I just saw that. Yeah, yeah. That's
So,
awesome, dude. That's awesome.
so yeah, with him, he's got a great management team that have been like with him his whole because he started off as a kid, and they're just seeing this. We're seeing a leading man being
That's
created
great.
in front of
That's
our
what we
eyes.
need. And that's exactly what we need.
Let me see. Who else? Orville. Did you ever answer that, Orville? Who is La Maga?
It's ha ha ha.
And all these great new people subscribing. Thank you. Oh, look who's here, everyone. Yeah. Thank you for that diamond. Yeah, we had the lead actor of the show Promised Land on here, because what had happened is ABC dumped the last half of the season on Hulu.
Okay.
They didn't give it the big support. Like, I bet you never heard of it, right?
No, I never heard of it. No.
That's the problem.
And I think that happens a lot too. I remember George Lopez had a comedy on as well, and I saw a couple episodes, and I had the guy that was his like co-host in the thing, Citric Entertainers, and he told me, and he's on a show with George Lopez. I look it up. I'm like, where's this show at? It's like it doesn't really get the advertisement that most shows get. It looks like they just make the movies just to kind of write it off and say, see, we made a Latino movies. It's almost like that's what the Hollywood's doing. They'll just do it just to be able to say, look, we made it, put it off the checklist, shelf it after a couple episodes.
Gill, I see a through line on how brown people are treated, even when people trying to come into this country legally.
The beautiful
we're gonna get to that because I got a whole
for sure.
This shit is not by accident, and we have some wonderful people here, wonderful new people from Gill's community, from the Slantinos. The great clobbering times is here. What's happening, my dude?
Terry Hesticles, and I agree with Terry Hesticles on this.
Wait, what happened?
Terry Hesticles, he's leaving a comment right there. I think you put it up real quick. He says, Gill is the truth. Love to see y'all coming together. And this was, there you go.
Terry Hesticles.
you can figure that out.
I love these names, man.
Yeah.
I love these names.
He's one of my subscribers. Gentrified didn't appeal to all because of the propaganda played in the show. And I got to agree with him with that. It seems
That's what I'm telling you.
I agree with him on that. It seems like every single show, I forgot which was another. It was a comedian lady.
But it wasn't every episode.
No, I know, but that's the problem with it. We can't just have our stuff. We can't just have our stuff. And I agree with them on that. I agree with you on that, Paulie. It's always pushing an LGBTQ agenda. It's always pushing an Afro-Latina agenda. It's like, dude, let us just get our own stuff for a little bit, and then we can start putting your stuff in there. But it's almost like some of these people that make the movies make sure, no, you have to put that in there. If not, we're not letting you make the movie. And I've heard that from people in Hollywood that would sit there and tell me, no, they say Latinos are too masculine for Hollywood right now, and they don't want Latinos to be in certain movies, or they don't want to make certain movies because we as Latinos are too masculine. So they try to make movies that are some weird stuff. And like in
Mhm.
one of my wife's favorite shows is one of these 911s on Fox, right? Where all the firefighters, she's probably looking at all the hot bomberos or something, right? There's only and I every time because she's like, you always gotta bring something up. I'm like, where's a Latino in there? And who's the Latino? Of course, it's a gay guy. I'm like, Jesus, every single time. And it ain't no knock on the LGBT community because they'll take offense. Some of them will. Some will be like, well, it is what it is. But it always seems like we can't just have our own thing where it's us as Latinos, as Cali Max coming along, and they'll say, well, it's part of the life. It is part, but you guys are kind of pushing it down our throat. Let's get some traction on our own stuff first, and then we can go ahead and get everybody else in there.
Or show it in a real-time, real-world situation. Again, I'm going to go back to Provincetown. Let me give you an example. The patriarch of the family is like old school, and his young kids are like wealthy at this point. They're like, we want to do this wine, and we want to do this wine label, and we want it to appeal to the Latinx crowd. And he's like, first of all, I don't know what that means. Second of all, you don't even work. Yes, yeah, that's how people talk in families.
Yeah.
I want that. And in that family, they had a gay brother. They had a bisexual, like sister, and
non-binary or something.
No, she wasn't that. She's like old school bisexual. Right. My point is, it wasn't about that. It was integrated into the family.
Right.
It was really about this family, trying to keep this winery active and them kind of backstabbing each other a little bit. So you had story, and then this other stuff. You could, even when he talks about being an illegal, the lead actor,
right?
It wasn't ham-fisted, man. And it, the writing was quality. It can be done, but you're right. To me, okay, if you're gonna do it, make sure you're dealing with it in real time, like how people really talk to each other.
Yeah,
my goddaughter is, we did her quinceañera y todo, and a couple years later she comes out and she has a wife. They've been together for years. She's happy.
Yes.
But look they're Cowboys fans. They're softball players.
We really don't care.
They don't care. Yes.
We really don't care. People think just like that. I got family members that are on. I got a niece that's married to another woman. I don't care. She comes in, we talk, we have a beer with her wife, and everything. We don't care. We're not like, but don't push it down our throat and try to make it act like this is big old huge thing just because they're hijacking. Right. They're hijacking the show is what ends up happening.
Well, it's again then it becomes the oppression Olympics. Okay, we got some great super chats. Terry Hesticles learned of your show and many other Cali Mac talent that I now support because of Gill. This is great. Keep it up, raza.
That's what's up. There you go, Terry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Orville Nation, Acapulco on Apple with Eugenio Derbez is great. Yes.
Acapulco.
I'm
writing all these down because these are shows I didn't know about.
Yeah. It just got greenlit for a second season. It stars Eugenio Derbez. He was part of the ensemble that won Best Film, Coda. I don't know if you've ever seen his stuff in Spanish. He's a comedian from Mexico.
Yeah, yes, all the time. The time.
Right. So thank you, PJ. And you know what? Let's do a double thank you video for all these great super chats. Let's start off with our toothless Theo.
I'm loving it.
And now, and now let's. This is for
You got too much time on your hands, Paulie. That's actually great, man. I'm loving it.
Great. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if you don't want to pay Mama Susan anything with super chats, there's our PayPal as well. So haven't checked. We got all kinds of great people here in the chat. Tim's Talk, Glory Hole is here.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Well, with the chicken, don't choke the chicken. Whatever you do, do not choke the chicken at the glory hole. Those are your people. Those are your.
Hey. Cubele from Mando, el baile bondsman. What's up, Cubele Armando?
That's right, Armando.
¿Qué
Oh,
pasó,
man.
Armando? Oh, I've been walking around the house trying to figure out where the beeping is coming from. It's the show. It might be the show. I mean, I have my chimes.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. I was
It's my
trying to
chimes.
it's windy out there.
Well, what it is I have the AC on, and
Uh-huh.
you know how the AC kind of moves, and then it hits the
Oh,
chime.
and it hits.
So,
All right.
yeah, sorry. Hopefully, it's not too distracting.
You had also one tweaking out over there, geeking out, trying to figure out what's coming from.
Okay, what is Diego Flores? Who's my partner in Midnight Edge Espanol? They have a legal requirement because there are now quotas in front of the camera and behind. Oh, gotcha, man.
Well,
How do you feel about that?
I think the quotas at the end, we don't get leading roles. We get very minimal leading roles.
All these quotas, we don't see shit.
But see, this is the thing. It's not the quota. The quotas aren't this though. The quotas are not Latino. The quotas are minorities. So African Americans are minorities. LGBTQ are minorities. As long as they're in there, that's it. And that's a secret word that Hollywood has been using. We need more inclusion. More inclusion. Inclusion does not mean brown people. Inclusion does not mean Cali Max. Inclusion means black. It means LGBTQ, and even Asians will get more leading roles than we have nowadays. And that's a fact, even though we're such a huge population. But we don't get representation. Why? Because we don't make any noise and tell these studios, we're not going to watch your stuff. We're not going to buy your dope anymore. But as long as we continue to buy their dope, which is the movies, we're going to continue to be suckered by these people. And until we come together and say, no, that's enough, dude. You guys keep talking about this inclusion. We need to call out the same people that say they're all about inclusion. We need to call them out and say, hey, you guys are being hypocrites. You guys keep saying inclusion, but you're full of it because that just means you're putting your people on. How about us?
Especially now, as we are disproportionately the highest demographic that goes to the movies.
Yep.
The statistic is true, courtesy of Mexican Iron Man.
That's great.
Latinos, as far as tickets sold, 23% of the box office, 285 million. That's a lot of money.
That's power, dude. That's power. That's power. But we don't use it. We don't flex it.
I'm sorry. 18% of the population, 62.69 million people in the States. What you were going to say?
Yeah, I said that's power, but we don't use it. And in California, we're like 40 to 50% of the population. And if you guys don't know, Hollywood is in California. Hollywood is in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles alone, we're huge demographics of the population, but we're just good enough to make the sets. We're good enough to bring the food. We're good enough to sweep the floors for you, but we're not good enough to be in your movies. But we are good enough. The problem is they don't put us in there because we don't make that noise. And until we actually make that noise and say, "Hey guys, let's get in here," and tell them they need to make some of these movies. Look at the Academy Awards. It's a joke. It's a joke for us. We're nowhere there. Look at the Grammys. I don't know if you saw the Grammys. They gave Vicente Fernandez an award. They had an African American give him the award, and no knock on him. He didn't do anything wrong. The guy didn't even know who he was. He was like, "Oh, I guess he's not here, so I'm gonna just get out of here." That's the Grammys. That would be like Frank Sinatra going up to get an award, and they say, "Oh, well, he's dead. Oh, Frank Sinatra didn't show up." Like that is the level of disrespect that we get as Latinos time and time again. And until we say something, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, I did a video on that. That was pretty disgusting on the Grammy Foundation. There's no excuse. I actually have a lot of respect for that country singer who afterwards felt horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't
He
his fault at all.
apologized on well, for him to go and apologize on Twitter, he was a gentleman. He was a gentleman. Because I'm like, if you're a country singer, you've heard of Vicente Fernandez.
You should have. He's an icon. He's a huge, huge guy. He's probably the biggest Mexican singer out there when he was alive, and even to this day right now.
Let's check in with the chat, man. This is incredible. Over 55 people watching. If you haven't, make sure you're subscribed to both our channels. We're now also, along with Midnight's Edge Espanol, part of the Daily Chela TV.
Oh, very cool. Welcome to the family, Paulie.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. with my Slantinos, I want to tell you guys, what's happening, and it's been happening, Gil, is we're a band of rebels.
Yes, sir.
We are, and we're very different from each other in our approach, right?
Yes.
But we are a band of rebels against the X, and and just against censorship of freedom of expression. I mean,
Just the woke world, I think, is what it is. I think the woke world is shutting us down and pushing other agendas but ours.
Diego Flores, if you can grab the Daily Chela TV link platform, it is really cool. Brandon just launched it, and we're going to talk about your event in a little while as well, because
sure.
I think Brandon's coming down for that, so that's pretty beautiful.
Yes, he is.
So yeah, everyone in the chat, we've been talking about some great issues in regards to Latinos in entertainment. And we do this a lot on the channel. What I don't do enough is straight politics. So I wanna just start to transition. Let's use the word for that country. Let's go ahead and say what it is. Let's say blue and yellow. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow. We got that YouTube email today. It was just like, trying to censor people.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
I think they do a lot to my channel because I say everything. I don't care, and I think what it kills the algorithm is what it does.
Freedom, orale. Vamos, Brandon. That's right, May 21st.
Save the man. That's right.
American Cholo, aka El Gran Maestro. Maestro means master.
The master.
I love it.
Quemador de hierba, I think is what his name was. I'm not sure.
Yeah, these names.
Quemador de hierba. Somos dos, cabrón.
I want to bring this up. You have a very prolific Instagram page. My Instagram, I'm putting pages up of my dogs.
Well, I used to get. When I first, I've been on Instagram for maybe like 14 months now, right? And I didn't really use it as much. Now I use it more for promotion and to get word out there. I can't get politically on Instagram because I got knocked down like twice. I think the third time they're gonna take my page down. And it wasn't even like real crazy stuff. It was crazy. Instagram will censor you with a quickness, right? And that's what I noticed. So I do it more on YouTube. And YouTube doesn't censor you, but they won't let the algorithm hit, which I don't care. My way of reaching people is word of mouth. Just like I do construction, and how the way I've got known was just word of mouth. That's the best way, because then you're getting good clients, and they know they're getting a good contractor. So it kind of works out both ways. And when we're talking about, was it the blue and yellow?
Blue and yellow, blue and yellow.
the blue and yellow. First of all, when this whole war started going on, all this stuff started, right? I was one that, and I'll still say it, it's a horrible thing. It's a sad thing for the innocent people there, but it is no different than the war in Afghanistan, than the war in Iraq. We were in Iraq. Remember Shock and Awe, Paulie? Campaign Shock and Awe with Bush?
Sure. Mission accomplished.
Shock and awe, for people who don't know, was the term they used, and they pretty much let everybody know, hey, turn your TV on, guys. We're going to blow this damn whole, we're going to blow this whole city to Kingdom Come. And that's what they did. It was called Operation Shock and Awe. We're going to drop every bomb we got on this city. And to me, does America have such smart bombs that doesn't kill innocent people? Is that our technology that we haven't shared with the rest of the world yet? No, we were killing innocent people. But the reason it wasn't such a big deal is because, one, America was doing it, and two, it was people of color dying. When it came to the blue and yellow, it's because they're seeing Europeans on the camera being killed. All of a sudden, you see Europeans getting killed, and it's, oh my God, look at the atrocity that's going on around the world. And yeah, that's what I put because of the refugees that are coming over. And I put this on my Instagrams. Guess who gets in first? And that's an honest question to ask. Oh, Gill, they're being bombed. They're being this. Okay. Yeah, they're being bombed in Ukraine. They are not being bombed in Mexico anymore. They are not being bombed in Tijuana anymore. They're not being bombed in any of those border states or border cities anymore, right? So why is it that the people on the left that are brown, that are also running from war, running from cartels, running from people chopping up pieces, running for their lives, is any different from the people on the right that are Europeans? And the people that are on the right are getting in line and getting in. They're getting fast track. They're getting that Disneyland fast track. Oh, I'm running from war. No, you're not in war anymore. It should be like anything else. You came to the carniceria, you get your number. You don't jump in line because your time is more important than mine. My family is just as important as you. But the problem is that, again, it goes back. Look at them. And we have that problem too. We look at white people, we look at Europeans, and we feel more sorry for them. We look at the people on the left and we think that's what they deserve. That's how they run their country. Well, that's how they decided to run their country, and that's why they're at war with Russia, because of NATO. I don't want to go into all that, but it was because of the government. People say, oh, Gill, but it's not their fault. Well, the people on the left, it's not their fault either. It's not their fault that America has made policies in a lot of these countries that have made them so poor, that we put puppets in there that made them so poor. We need to fix our stuff here in the United States and help fix the countries down at the bottom. That's the only way these people are not going to want to come up here anymore. The people that come to the United States, they would rather stay in their countries, the majority of them. The thing is, there's no work, there's no food. But the thing is, we need to make this equal, Paulie. If you are running, it's both. They have to figure out who's a refugee. Get in line like everybody else. Let us screen you like everybody else. What makes you special? Your skin color? Because that's all I see with that.
And I want to say really quickly, let's do two things. What we're talking about is getting in line, the legal process to get in.
Yes.
The undocumented illegal means, that's a whole different argument.
Yes, that's a whole different argument.
When you say get in line, we're talking about the legal way to get in line. Some people are waiting years, months and months and months. It's funny, I don't hear about any Haitians anymore.
No, the Haitian but the Haitians are still there. I got a guy that's at the border right now. He just sent me pictures.
You got a guy that looks at the Haitians.
No, that's at the, no. I got a guy also told me about the Haitians. Like, dude, the Haitians are cool over here. He's like, they came over here, they're assimilated to Mexico, they're working over there. Sure. He's like, we got no problem with them, and I got no problem. I have zero problem with the United States taking any refugee, right? But go through the process like everybody else. Get in line. Go wait in those tents. Go wait there for 6 months. Go wait there for 9 months. If you put all these Ukrainians in the back of the line, I can guarantee you the people in the front will get processed much quicker, because they'll be like, hey, we need to get these guys in here. You got these guys walking in with Louis Vuitton purses. They don't look like people who are dying. So that tells me also that people with money from Ukraine are getting in line before everybody else. And another thing that's going on now too is the Russians are coming. And I don't mean that like the Russians are coming with the communists. No, I mean the USSR. The Russians are literally in San Isidro, and they're crossing. At first, they weren't taking them. Now they're taking them, and they're crossing them too. I thought the Russians were the aggressors.
So wait, real fast, Gill. Real fast. I know, and I love your flow. What are we actually seeing here on your Instagram page?
What we're seeing here is an actual picture of a quote unquote refugee. These are two people that are about to cross the border. Look how they're dressed. Look at the Louis Vuitton. Does this look like somebody who just grabbed their clothes in the middle of the night, running for their lives? They're refugees. No, these are people that probably took off. They got money and they figured out, you know what? Let's go to America. How do we do it? Okay, first we go to the San Isidro border. We go there. Mm-hmm. Don't worry. We're not going to wait like the rest of those fucking brown people over there. We're not going to wait like the rest of those Central Americans over there. We're light-skinned, we're Europeans, we get ahead of the line. This is just showing the hypocrisy that's always. Remember, Kamala Harris about 6 months ago told everybody in Central America, don't come.
Do not come
to the United States. There are so many countries over there in Europe. Europe is huge. Is huge. Yeah. We do have a border crisis here in the United States. And the reason we have a border crisis is because both parties have been too cowardice to actually get together and figure out, hey, we need to make some kind of immigration policy that works. And they don't want to do it because why? One reason, they got something to fight about every 2 to 4 years. And
really quick, Gill. Yeah. I got 2 super chats before they get too old, talking about Latino superheroes. Mario Tiatelli, $5. Here is your ¿Por qué no pides super chat. From me, Vampira, she is our Latina superhero. I'm so sorry, Maria.
Is Vampira's a superhero?
That's my bad. My bad.
That's what's up.
That's messed up. I know, and she's a member of the channel. Y todo.
That's what's up.
I
That's what's
messed
up. Shout
up.
out to Maria Vampira.
I love it.
Good.
And
Good.
or PJ Orville Nation for another $2. Bien dicho, Cholo. Yeah.
And I think, listen, Paulie, the more the word gets out there, the more people agree. The thing is that we as Latinos have been groomed not to say anything. This is how it works. If you're African American, if you're white, if you're Republican, if you're Democrat, if you're LGBTQ, if you say something, you're a concerned person trying to make a difference. When we say something, no llores, way. Stop crying. Why are you complaining? Well, I'm not listening to that old way of thinking anymore, because that old way of thinking has got us stuck at the bottom, whether it's in the movies, whether it's in the Grammys, whether it's in politics, whether it's at the border. We're stuck behind the line because we've been stuck with that no llores mentality. Well, I'm done with that. I'm trying to get loud, and I know there's a lot of Cali Macs out there saying, you know what? This guy's right, man. This guy's right. Let's make some noise. And as long as people start supporting that movement and we make more noise, I can guarantee you more and more of us will stand up and say, you know what? Enough is enough. We need some immigration laws passed. We need some people at the Grammys. We need some people in movies. You guys need to put money into our communities. What are we? Second-class citizens? No, man. We're going to run this thing, but we need to step up and start it now. You're a mute, Paulie. You're a mute. Right now, huh? Let me talk for you. I was going to talk for you, Paulie.
We have some great comments in the chat. Thank you, Gill, for your awesome thoughts. Paulie, where and who do you and your guest watch to get their news? Where do you get your news at, Gill?
I will read the LA Times, a little bit of New York. I listen to a whole lot of talk radio, and most of the time I will actually Google and do my own homework, and will actually go to different I'll go left. Usually to find out somewhere in between. You can even watch CNN, and this I play this game with my wife. I say watch. I'll put on, it's the same topic, whatever it is. I said, watch CNN. Okay, we'll watch for 20 minutes. Okay. I said, now let's go over here. And they're both kind of lying to make their base feel better. And then I'll explain to her, this is what's really going on, because there's always a middle ground. And unfortunately, most of the news media outlets right now are just trying to pander to their people or pander to their base. And that's a disjustice for everybody to actually get real news. So like in anything, anytime I do a story, I just start Googling stuff, start reading articles and try to find out which is the truth. Because there's a lot of lies out there. But as far as like the blue and yellow, no, that's what it is, man. People will sit there and say, no, it's not. Then tell me something else.
And for me, Turo, I'll hit The Hill on YouTube. Kim Iverson, I have a lot of respect for, and Tim Pool. You know, he does the work. I think he does a lot of honest work. I don't necessarily agree all the time. And then like what Gill says too, there, even in the most wocoso articles, sometimes you can find you know the truth there.
And the Daily Chella has some great articles as well.
The Daily what?
The Daily Chella. Brandon has some
and
great stuff.
the Daily Chella. Yes, thank you. Yeah, man. We're gonna.
Brandon has some real good stuff in there.
They've been putting it up. Diego's been putting it up. So you know, you were talking about this no llores brown mentality, right? This brown experience, and you know, I get it all the time because I always do the pushback when it comes to entertainment on not so much representation matters, but presentation matters. Kind of just what you said. It's like I don't care that we're there. I want once we're there, I want that shit to be great.
Yes, of course.
I don't want, you know, just I don't want just third Cholo from the left. No disrespect.
And that's it.
But hey, if we're getting all that, then that's not good. You know what I mean?
But I think that comes down to us having actual brown writers that are doing that. Brown producers, brown production companies. That's what we need, because that's when you get the real experience. Because what happens a lot of times, you get people that are writing stories that know nothing about our community.
Now, I think this no llores brown mentality is so in Latin America, still permeates. It's still comes from the old school colonial thought.
Yes, it's ingrained in us.
And Diego Flores sent me some video, and I want to read it, and then I want to play it for you. This is a famous socialite who just got married. She had women in native garb on the floor throwing flowers, and a group of natives from the jungle doing a typical dance. This is Peru, by the way.
Okay.
And the thing is, she is of European descent, and so it evoked the old colonial hierarchy. So let me. Whoa. Okay, hold on a second. Oh gosh, what did I do? Here's a wedding procession, Gill, and people in the chat. And if you can put some more information, Diego, in the chat, that would be wonderful. But I want to share this with you. You can see the wedding procession walking down the street. Then you see the brownies, the indios, literally on the street floor. This is a scene out of the 1500s. Let me see. What do we got? Okay, there you go.
And this is current.
This just happened.
Okay.
Correct.
You're giving me some content, in other words.
Yes, this is actually you're hearing it here first. This is juicy content. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna kill the sound so we can talk over this. But so there you see the wedding procession going about, and the Indias on the floor.
Right, bowing down.
I think I'm not too sure. I think this guy just actually kicked her.
No, it was her husband from Peru, maybe.
Well, she's a socialite.
Oh, okay. And she decided she wanted to do the, oh God,
like a whole native theme.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. That's insensitive. That's insane. Those people are doing it because they come from a very poor country and they're just trying to get paid. It's no fault of their own, but that would almost be the equivalent. And a lot of times we gotta use the African American experience because that's what's more known. That would be the equivalent of walking through the South and having the slaves bow down to them while they're walking back there, because in those days the Indians, they were the slaves. They were the second-class citizen.
So up on the second level, you see the native dancers, and here you go. Very posh affair, and
yes, look at that.
Everyone's super light skinned. I mean, this is the reality of Latin America, guys.
Yes,
this shit is still real.
Yes, but people don't see that, Paulie. People don't want to see it. People are always just no llores, don't get involved. You got it good, and this is what I say too. Individually, I'm doing just fine. Individually, you're doing just fine. There's a lot of us individually that we're doing just fine. But as a collective, we're not. And as a collective, we're having this happen. As a collective, politically, we're not doing just fine. And until we actually do something, this is going to be the norm. This will be the norm. And I don't want this to be the norm for when my grandkids are my age. I want to leave this place a little bit better for them and try to pave the road to have stuff like this not happen.
Diego says is a socialite from one of the oldest families in the country. So this is like, they're in a different reality. That's for sure.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
and
they're on
Diego's
a different level. They're not seen as equal.
Yeah, he's a part of the same social class, but I have a lot of indigenous blood, so I was shocked and horrified. Yeah, Diego's más indio, como, like when you see Diego, so
Or it would almost be like the let's say the Western guys walking and they have the Indians over there bowing down to them as they're walking by and they're throwing the petals because I'm the great white hope over here.
So you still got this old school garbage happening. You got political strife, social strife, gang violence in many of these countries. I mean, governments are gangs.
Oh, yes.
It's no wonder why so many people are fleeing.
Well, and the thing is this: when they talk about El Salvador, they talk about Mexico, they talk about other places, especially with the gangs. We exported those gangs there. Honduras, Central America, they had no MS-13. They had no 18th Street. When the like 94, 98, that's when they ramped up a lot of the deportations. They just shot them over there. They didn't care. They just said, you're out of here. You're going. And look at the mess it made. It made a mess in those countries, and it made a worse mess for our country too, because they started going over there. They got bigger numbers, and they actually started coming, hopping the border right back. And we are the ones that made that problem. But too many times Americans, and I consider myself American as well, will be like, that's them, that's their problem, that's their government. But no, we have our hand in that, and we've had our hand in those countries since those countries began. I mean, if you look at the 80s, the CIA, the government, the Reagan administration, we were getting cocaine, bringing it over here. We made the ghettos what it was. We made the drug wars what it was. Then we started locking people up. American government has its hand in everything that went bad. I'm not saying they're 100% at fault, but we do have we have something that we have to sit there and say, you have that fault, you have that fault. It's not one person or one group's fault, but we all need to come together and fix it. But the government isn't going to fix it. The regular people isn't going to fix it. The people with money aren't going to fix it. If you got money and you're one of those elite people, do you really want those people to be equal with you? No. You got money, you want people to bow down to you. And that's how it is here in the States. People with money live on a different spectrum, but we as a people, we may not have the money as they do, but collectively we've got the power and we've got to use it.
I mean, and you see something like this and other problems. I mean, when I talked about the American dream, we're living the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know. I mean, you said it in one of your podcasts, like the most poverty-stricken people here are mid-class, at least.
For sure. Yeah, people over here, the poorest person in the projects over here is middle class in Honduras. Mm-hmm. Straight up. You got a flat screen TV, you got a car, you got the Jordans, you may have the fake Louis or fake or real one, I'm not sure, but you have all this. You got them giving you not food stamps, but the cards. You're getting money. These countries, you're not. Over there, when they say you're poor, that means you ain't eating. That's what it means. There's no place where I'm going to get a tent. Somebody's going to give me money. No, there's no money to be given. Over there, the rich are the rich and the poor are the poor. And unless we actually do something in this country, that's going to be us in 40 or 50 years. Because if you haven't looked around, people, the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and the only thing going up in your neighborhood is the rent, man.
The elections are coming up again.
Yes.
And I honestly feel both parties don't have a real clue how to galvanize to get the Latino vote.
Yeah, they don't.
And each has some major problems. What are your thoughts on that?
I think every election cycle, whether it's a 2-year election cycle or a 4-year election cycle, they just come and pander to us real quickly. And a lot of times people will tell me, well, Gill, why are you always knocking on the Democratic Party? I said, because the Latinos already hate the Republican Party. I don't got to do much work with that. The Latinos already don't like the Republican Party. And that's okay by me. I don't vote Republican. I don't vote Democrat. I vote independent. And I would be willing to vote for anybody that's really going to help us out. But as far as the cycle goes, like for mayor of Los Angeles, you have I can't get her name right now. She's with the B. She's African American leading, and
right.
Then,
there's a few I've been seeing.
There's two leaders now. The other ones are gone. They're not even going to be a factor anymore. It's going to be it's going to be.
We got?
It's going to be Caruso or something like that. I think he's a
Who are you
Republican.
talking to over there, Ese?
Oh, big short dog. Oh, my boy short dog over here. He's butting in. He's killing me.
Oh, what's up, short dog?
So yeah,
All
I
right.
think Caruso, whatever. He's a Italian. I don't know if he's Italian.
Caruso. You've seen a lot.
Him and she used to run for Congress. I'm voting for Caruso, and the reason I'm voting for him is because I heard the debate, and she's bringing the same policies. It's the same broken policies. It's the same. We need to help these unhoused people. Oh, we need to do this. In other words, we need to just keep blowing money. We have thrown billions of dollars at this thing, and it's a drug problem. And the same time, what's the name is a rich, greedy developer. And what I don't like about him, but I still got to vote for him, is because his thing is, oh, we need to make more housing. But that's just a developer and him saying that because that's what they do. But at the same time, Southern California or just California, it's liberal. It's liberal as heck. And what people need to understand is these same liberals that say they love you, they got your best interest at heart, are the ones letting that rent go from $1,200 to $2,400. They're the same ones that are having brown minority people not living in their neighborhoods anymore because these developers are developing stuff by them saying, oh, we need to build more housing. No, we don't need more housing. We need affordable housing. But they won't say because these developers are in their pockets. All of these guys, man. And it's just frustrating as hell to keep hearing the same.
Even the most progressive candidates that get in, they get owned quick.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, I'll just say that.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
All of them. But the biggest problem out here in California is definitely the homelessness problem. Which is really a drug addiction problem that they haven't figured out. All the neighborhoods. And another thing that I would like to ask any of the mayoral candidates, right? Out here in my city.
You have candidates come on your show.
Oh yeah. And I ask them, and I hit them hard. I think that's why like someone won't come on.
It's great.
I want to know this from any mayor, anybody running for mayor. Why is it that only in minority cities we have these little homes? Why is it not that we don't have them in Bel Air? Bel Air is LA County. I work in LA all day long. It's LA City, LA Building and Safety. Why don't we have them in Hancock Park? Why don't we have them in Woodland Hills? Why don't we have all these little tiny homes and all these drug programs where you have white rich people? And that's the answer. Because you got white rich people. And then they'll say, Gill, you always make it about race. Because it is about race. It's about race and it's about money. And the thing is, most of the white people in those areas have money. So what? They'll call their attorneys. They'll call their friend who knows the mayor. They'll call this, hey, get this guy out of here. But so if you want to make it equal, no problem. Let's put little houses in every city, whether it's North Hollywood, whether it's Calabasas by the Kardashians, whether it's Bel Air by Will Smith when he used to be the prince. Let's put them out there. But I guarantee you they won't.
It's a good idea, and maybe they have the houses next to Will Smith, and if the homeless houses, the housing they misbehave, and they're gonna get slapped. I couldn't help it.
That was perfect. There you go. I set you up right there, Paulie.
I still got it. Hey,
you want to make it equal? Why not make it over there? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, K-Popcorn is here for $5. She says, "Great agenda, congrats, Slantinos."
That's right.
Hey, K-Pop, we're so happy you're here. Yeah, it's been a great show with Gill, American Cholo. Let's do the long arr. How about that? There you go.
All right, let's do
Arr.
Noise.
Arr.
Hey, do a mariachi one.
Oh my God. I love it.
The Latino Slant co-hosted by Paulie and American Cholo.
Oh man, that is great, Paulie. That is great.
You having a good time, brother?
I really am, man. So
great.
Even Short Dog says he's having a good time over here.
Short Dog, man, is that the guy with the beard?
No. That's Boo Boo. That's my co-host. This is my co-drunk right here.
Co-borracho.
Yeah, it's my co-borracho over here.
Tell myself what's up.
That's right. Oh, he's hearing you. He's on the headphones. He's hearing you. He's hearing you.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure. So, another thing that we have in common, Gill, is I have a family of contractors.
Okay.
You know, and they've never been busier.
Yeah.
They go all over town. You know, from small jobs to big jobs. You do the big jobs. Work is there. There's work to be had. Yes. From handyman to little moving jobs, you know. But I honestly feel that the heavy lifting of our society, the manual labor, the heavy lifting, is still majority done by men. And this is not a knock on. I'll even say, you know, if you're a you know, you got that testosterone running in your veins, and you know you're out there with the dudes as well, you're part of that.
Yes,
you're part of that. My point is, you know, men in general are getting such a bad rap, right?
Oh yes, you're being demonized nowadays.
Can the Latino male ever be what's the word I'm looking for? Tamed. Hollywood tamed. Wokoso tamed.
Oh, like Hollywood tamed, you mean? With
sure.
Oh yes, that's what they're doing right now. They're grooming for that. They're grooming that from school. They're grooming that from the manual labor. That's racist.
Sorry, man.
They're grooming that right now. They're they're grooming that from Disney to the schools to everything else. It's like they're grooming masculinity out of us. And but that just doesn't go for Latinos. That goes for every man out there. Hollywood's doing it. Anything that's masculine, they want no part of it. Everything's got to be like, we got to conform to the minority's opinion. That's how it is. But that's how this country runs. This country runs by who votes, who takes care of business, who's actually out there. And if we don't get out there, their agendas, whoever it is going to run all over us. And to me, when it comes to any of those movements, I don't agree with a lot of it, but I respect it. I have to respect it because they're getting whatever they want done. Meanwhile, we are not. And until we actually, you know, put our foot on the ground and start getting these boots on the ground. And when I say the ground, it doesn't mean we have to go out there and protest and do it. No, man. This right here, Paulie, this right here is one of the most powerful things we have. But the problem is we're wasting our time on TikTok all the time. This right here, all you got to do is press. You got to share it. Hey, this is our stuff. We don't want it. Like the May 21st event. Share. Any kind of political stuff that we want. Share. You start emailing. You start calling these politicians. You start making noise where these people are like, who the hell keeps calling? It's the Calumet community. They're calling what? They don't like this thing. They don't like small houses only in minority cities. Why is that? Why is that to your councilman? Why is that to the mayor? And you make it so loud in their rooms where they're like, man, we got to answer these people. If we don't make that noise, they will not answer the phone. Everybody else is getting their phone answered, but we are not, because we're not making that noise.
I got to tell you, you know, we have a city-run contracting project right behind us, right?
All right.
They're turning they're literally turning these parking lots owned by the city into affordable housing, whole 9 yards.
Right.
I'm bugging the junk out of my local guy and the contractor, you know, head of the project,
right,
to get a contractor fence just put up so all their caca doesn't go into my backyard. I mean, you know, like it's hilarious.
I'll tell you who you call, Paul.
Huh?
Paulie. AQMD. I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but AQMD is something environment. They're the ones that deal with it's dust, it's this, and I think they're more of a state ran thing. You call AQMD, say, hey man, these guys are putting all kind of dust, all kind of dirt in my area. And AQMD will go over there, be like, hey, dude, you guys can't do this. Have you called your building and safety? Not the council guy, your actual city inspector. That's another guy. Because what happens is you call your building. First, I would do the building inspector if you haven't called him yet. You call the building inspector and you let him know, hey, man, send him some pictures. I need an email. I'm tired of this dust. The city inspector will go there because the city inspector hates getting phone calls from neighbors. They hate it. I've had the same thing. Hey, man, this neighbor's bugging the shit out of me.
Not
Put some water on it.
EPMD. Okay, got it.
Not EPMD. Yeah, but
Got
you
it.
got to go through your building and safety or AQMD if that doesn't work. But the building and safety should get it. And if the contractor was a smart guy, he would put a fence up there. It's a jackass. I would like put it up there, and you don't got to deal with this guy anymore.
But this is the thing we got to practice, people. We got to practice our rights, like you said, picking up a phone, using your phone, because I will do this. And the last thing I'll do is contact my friend at the local news.
Right.
I'm like, I know a couple people. I'm just like, this is, and we pay our rent. We're great neighbors. We have great neighbors. Our neighbors are Black, white, Asian. You know what? We never ever talk about any of this wocoso stuff. We talk about, hey, did you see that the little dog across the street is sneaking into the fence? Like, we're neighbors, man. I love having
to
neighbors.
exercise our rights, Paulie. That's
Yeah.
one thing we don't do. But that's what this country, how it runs. Exercise your rights. We don't do it. We love to complain why stuff is going sideways, why certain stuff is being taught in certain schools, why the homeless guys are doing. Well, if you're not like my wife works for a certain part of the city, right? And I'll tell her certain things. She's like, well, if nobody calls, they don't know. Straight up, there's certain stuff they don't know. I've caught myself. There's certain places they got sprinklers blowing water like for 3 days. I'm like, dude, and then I'll call 311 and say, hey, there's a place where you got to get involved in your community. If you don't get involved, nothing will happen. Even graffiti in your area, right? Anybody has graffiti in their area, call 311. They have money for. They want you to call because that's money that they're paying, and they have a fund for that. They want you to call. Any city that has full of graffiti, typically it's because the neighbors don't get involved. Because if you call 311, they'll be there within like 24 to 48 hours, and they'll paint the graffiti. But the thing is, again, we don't get involved. I don't want to live in a dirty city. I don't want to live in a city with so there's graffiti around here. I'm gonna call. But the thing is, too many people don't want to get involved, and if you don't get involved, they're gonna do whatever they want with you.
We're here with the great Gill, the American Cholo. Check out his channel. We have it in the chat, and we have a great, fantastic people in the chat right now. PJ Orville Nation for $5. We cannot let non-Latino elitists tell us who we are. Latin culture is already one of the most accepting and inclusive cultures on the planet. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I mean, we all got our hangups. But I absolutely, someone's in need. That door is always open, and we go beyond, right?
Yes, for sure.
That's beautiful sentiment there, PJ. Thank you so much. Earlier, I believe the Robert Escobar show asked, are there any leaders, Latino leaders, and I think he means political leaders, that you follow or into, have faith in, or do they not exist?
In my world, they don't exist. I'm sure they're out there, right? And I would love to connect with some of them. Some people would say, Gil, there's a lot, but I don't hear them in my neighborhood. I don't know if you see them in your neighborhood. And the problem is that with most Latino, quote unquote, people who are in parts of leadership, they're just puppets to the Democratic Party. Straight up, let's be real. They're just puppets to the Democratic Party. They're so scared to offend anybody that's with the BLM movement, anybody with the LGBTQ movement, and any leader that is afraid to upset any other person because you're saying something that you truly feel without disrespecting them. That's not a leader. That's somebody who's just going with the flow, making their money, and at the end of the day, being pretty much puppeteered by whoever's got the power at the time. So I've yet to see it. I'm sure there is out there, and hopefully we can bring them all to the table and actually, because I believe there's a lot of like-minded people like us, like people in the chat, right? Because there's a lot of core values that we do have. We have a lot of core. We love our families. Religion, not all, but a lot of us, right? We are all hardworking. We all want good schools. We all want safe places to live. There's all kind of stuff that we as a core group can get behind.
I mean,
We
those are
all
5 really big things, right? Let's just
Huge.
let's just say those, one more time. Family, number one,
Family.
right?
Religion, which is part of
absolutely,
tradition. We got our
right?
traditions.
It's
Yes.
traditions, right?
Safe schools,
Safe schools,
safe places for our families out on our streets, safe neighborhoods.
work. No, we all
we
work
work,
hard. Those
yeah.
are the first. Those first 3 right there.
Yeah, those
We're
are
like
us.
the best Americans.
Those are us. That's who we are. But the thing is, we have been hijacked by both the Democratic and the Republican Party.
How does that happen, man? How does that happen?
That
And
happens.
how does that happen to where if there's a non-democratic candidate that's kind of interesting, got some great ideas, I can't like them, I can't vote for them because that means I would be right wing or I would be,
that's
something
the most
awful.
foolish, ignorant thing we do, and we do that all the time.
Right.
We sit there, and it's that tribalism in us. It's that gang thing in us. It's like, he's not from my barrio, I don't want him. And like, you dummy, he's part of your people. He's just that tia or tío that you don't exactly agree with at the family function politically, but you love him, and and he wants the best for our family. And but I think it doesn't really even have to be. I would love to see more Cali Max in political power, because that would make more power to us, right? But I think we don't really need that off the back. What we need off the back, we have the political power. We have that. We have those phones. We have this finger. We have these pens when we vote. We can sway listen, all politicians, 95, 98% of them are just, they'll go with whoever's got the agenda going right now, right? They'll go with them. If we were to get together and say, listen, this is what we want. We want safer schools. We want better pay. We want lower rent. And I'm talking about us in California. Imagine we get hundreds of thousands, millions of people that wow, look at this huge movement. Every politician in California will all of a sudden say, Latinos need better schools. Latinos need more funding. Latinos need this. But what do you hear right now? You hear, I'm going to give you a African-American Supreme Court justice. More power to them. But that's what they're doing. They're catering to the people that they know are on their necks, saying, you better do this. If not, I'm not voting your way. They're scared of the African Americans swaying their vote. They're not scared of us because we keep voting the same way. And until we change that, we're going to continue to get the same outcome. We're going to continue to get just, they're going to vote this way anyway. It's like this, Paulie. If there's a certain person you're catering, a certain client, and that client doesn't say anything, whether you give him good service, whether you get bad service, he's still gonna tip you the same. He's still gonna do the same. And there's another client that, if you don't give him good service, you ain't getting jack. You're gonna make sure that client that's saying, hey, you're gonna cater him more because this guy, este güey es un borracho. De todos modos, me va a dar lo mismo. It doesn't really matter. But we're not that anymore, man. We're gonna get sophisticated. We're gonna get educated with politics, because politics rules the world.
But hasn't the Democratic Party, or aren't they slowly but surely losing the Latino vote?
Oh, yes.
The numbers are there the last
yes
3 or 4 voting cycles, no?
Yes, the Democratic Party is starting to majorly lose the vote, and the reason is because they're pushing LGBTQ agenda. They've overcorrected. They screwed the pooch with the defund the police, and now they're all backtracking, talking about they never said that. We never talked about that. No, you guys were the catalyst for that, man. You guys were the catalyst for those riots. You guys let that stuff happen. You guys were ready to let the country burn just because you hated Trump so much. It's a damn shame. But what? On our dime. So no, they're definitely starting to lose because they're pushing them away. They're pushing them away with those agendas, because they're making, and I'm not even a religious guy, they're making religion evil. They want to sit there and throw into a kindergarten and say, oh, well, this guy is transgender, this guy is... Kids don't know that, man. Kids are barely at the age of 11 or 13 starting to, get certain feelings. A 7-year-old doesn't know if he's transgender yet. He could be going through a tomboy phase or some kind of phase, which all kids do. But right now, it's coming to a point where at schools, there's a fight. And now, what side of the fight do you want to be on? I don't want my grandkids at at 6 years old, 7 years old, being taught about, oh, well, you see, this is a penis, but this penis is not a penis because she's a woman and she's a no, it's already confusing enough. Let parents teach that, or when it gets to like, 6th to 7th grade, then you start introducing it. But it's almost again, it's like you're grooming people. You're grooming people to that. Like Disney, all of a sudden. You can't say, hey, boys and girls. You gotta say, hey, kids, or whatever, or hey, non-binary. Like they're overcorrecting. And a lot of Latinos are looking and saying, no, this is wrong. These are not my values. You can't force your ideologies on people. It doesn't work. It's almost like when Bush went to Iraq and he said, "Oh, they're gonna give us flowers. They're gonna send us liberators. We were there for years. How many years? Never worked." People's ideologies, people way of thinking is the way they're gonna think, especially when it comes to stuff like that. And right now, the way, especially California, they're trying to push ideology on us as Latinos that we just don't like. And I think that's why they're getting so much pushback. And they should. And I think the Democrats going to lose a hell of a lot of seats, as they should, because you know what? They overcorrected and they screwed up. The Republican problem is that they don't cater to us. They just want us to jump into their ship and all of a sudden say, hey, you guys are part of the team. No, you guys were disrespecting us for years. You guys were ignoring us for years. So in other words, don't go from one bad relationship and jump into bed into another one. Stay in the middle and say, hey, guys, I'm not dating either one of you yet. Prove to me that you deserve my vote. That's what we got to do.
Let's say I don't. Let's just say I don't agree with you, right?
Okay.
On the school thing. I don't want that to be our first issue.
Oh, no, it can't be.
Our first issues are what you mentioned before.
Yes, of course, of course.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
These
but,
are we've created non-issues out of these things. To me, a lot of this what's been happening the last few years, even what we went through, and you put it in other term, in other you put it up against other killers, from alcoholism to heart disease. It's not. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not.
Yes.
It's not our first issue.
Yeah, no, but that was my explanation why people are leaving, why people are so frustrated.
Right. No. Right. So in my point is, I want to be, I don't know, part of it. I don't even know if it's a party or I don't know what it is. Being a place, for lack of better words, a safe space,
right,
to where I can disagree with you,
yes,
or agree.
Yes.
And by the way, I do agree, but I'm just I was just saying for argument's sake.
No, of course, but that's the thing. Everybody wants their inclusion, but their inclusion means you have to agree with me. That's not inclusion. All right, sure, Doug. That's not inclusion, and that's a problem with the left right now. The left has been taken over by people who are just overcorrecting, way too progressive, and thinking that from one day to the next it's gonna be okay. And if I disagree with you, you're a homophobe, you're a racist. No, I just disagree with you. As an American, that is my right. As long as I'm not disrespecting you and calling you out your name and just making all kind of accusations, I'm just disagreeing with you. And it comes to a point like a lot of colleges, they won't let people with different sides of the aisle come in and give speeches or whatnot. That's not speaking. That's not. If that's the case, then let's throw the Constitution away and just tell me what I can say and what I can't say. And that's what they're doing. And it's absolutely wrong because it's killing the conversation. There's a middle ground to everything, right? But a lot of times we don't find that middle ground because we're too busy screaming at one another. That's what ends up happening. People are too busy screaming and don't sit back and say, all right, dude, how do you feel? Let's talk about this. Where can we meet in the middle? And there is a lot of middle ground. And many times, Paulie, people see these politicians and they see them on TV and they think they're the smartest people in the world. They think they're like super. They're just human beings. They're just human beings. And there's some of us that I guarantee have much better ideas of what's going on in the real world because these guys live in a box and are just told, hey, this is the way we're voting this week. And that's how it's going.
So you think there's going to be a rude awakening for the Democratic Party next
Absolutely. Year? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're already gearing up for it. They're already backtracking from everything they did a few years ago. And I'm sitting here like a couple years back and I'm like, Dude, crime is look at the crime. Look at the crime right now in Los Angeles. It's insane. People are robbing everywhere. People are killing. Gang violence is through the roof. Everything. And it's like, who could have ever thought that was gonna happen when they were talking about defund the police and screw the who would ever even thought? No, Jesus, guys, really? Like, come on. Where are the adults in the building? But what happens is too many times politicians and everybody else, they get caught up in the mob. The mob wants this, the mob. Ooh, this is a good thing to do. Let's do this. It's almost like the disco era. Why everybody's doing disco? It's gonna last forever. And then after the disco era, like, oh shit, we're looking silly. And a lot of these guys are looking silly because crime is through the roof, inflation is through the roof, rent is through the roof. Everything is through the roof, dude. Everything. And this is about to pop. The only reason I think the economy hasn't crashed is because all of the stuff from COVID that keeps pushing it back. But eventually, the piper needs to get paid. Eventually, all these credit cards that are overdue need to get paid. All these evictions are going to happen. The piper's going to come for his money. And eventually, it's going to all come tumbling down. But right now, it's a mess. Look at everything that's going on in America. It's a mess.
And that was my next question is, we are talking about Los Angeles and California a lot, but I feel it is a barometer for the country.
Yeah, but that's
not necessarily a good thing.
No, it's a horrible thing. That had everything to do with the riots. It wasn't no uprising. It was riots, right? Just like the January 6th, that was a riot also, because I speak to guys who are, no, Gill, that was a riot as well. Just the riots, what they did was they fueled the arrogance of young men, of men who maybe at the time were not criminals. Now they are. They're like, F the police. F the police. That's exactly what came out of that. F the police. F authority. I can do what I want. The cops are not policing the way they used to police. It would be like Wyatt Earp all of a sudden being soft on crime. They would have ran over Wyatt Earp and ran over the town. And that's what's going on across the country.
When it was just, I'm going to interrupt. Sorry about that, brother.
No, go ahead.
Romy's from New York. So she keeps up with all the New York and New Jersey news.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, did you hear they caught that guy, the shooting? She's like, oh yeah. She's like, that's a bad part of Brooklyn. I'm like, ooh, really? So yeah, even before what had happened the last couple of years, it was bad. You got to imagine they locked down the.
You know what the ironic part of this is, Paulie?
Let me just finish real quick. They locked down that city for 2 years. What do you think is going to happen? She said. Oh, now that's why everything is like just people are popping. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No. It's ironic and it's funny to me that people like myself that are my age, even younger, that have criminal backgrounds, right? I was a criminal. I was in out of jail. I was that guy carrying the gun. I was that guy telling you to go F yourself at 2 a.m. playing music in front of your apartment, and you're trying to tell me I need to go to work, and I'm telling you, screw you.
You're the guy with the loud ass Tejano music.
No, I was bumping some other stuff, but I was
bumping
that
other
guy.
Shit.
Yeah, I was that guy, out there partying with the homies and some girls and thinking I own this block. I was that guy. Now as an adult, I remember how the cops treated us. I remember how the cops would have to get aggressive with us. Now, as an adult, I can see why. Because if they were soft to me, forget about it, man. No, you can't sit there, especially when somebody's on gangster mode, when somebody's on gang mode. Being soft is showing weakness. And what's going on is we're gonna end up going back. We're like at the beginning of the 90s. If this keeps going up, you're gonna start seeing the tide again. Let's lock them up. Let's do 3 strikes. Why? Because we let it get out of control. And remember in New York in the late 80s, right now, nobody wanted to go to New York because it was hell. Hollywood, the same thing. So Giuliani came in here, and the Giuliani went a little crazy on us. Giuliani went in there, started doing the broken window, broken light, broken tail light, pulling people over. Why? Because you're going to pull them over. You're going to see if they got guns. You're going to see that you're cleaning the streets. You got to get in there and you got to, for lack of a better words, bang on these guys. You got to bang on them and tell them, hey, dude, this ain't your streets. These streets are for the people that work and take care of business. And this is coming from a guy that used to be a criminal. And most guys that were like that were like, they know. They're like, yeah, dude, you got to be tough. I'm not saying you got to violate their rights. I'm not saying you got to plant drugs on them. No, but you got to pick the lesser of two evils. Do you want the gangbangers running the streets or do you want the cops running the streets?
mean, that's really, yeah.
Bottom line. Bottom line. That's what it is.
And you know, and let's wrap up soon, but this has been a really great discussion, brother. You have an event.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the event. There you go. Night for
You have
Power.
an event. Tell us about it.
Go ahead. I think I lost it.
Oh, and really fast, yes.
No, that was my
E-Clay, this Cholo is making sense.
Yeah, don't judge a book by its name.
Orale.
So we are having the event. We're having the event May 21st, as you can see on the flyer, from 2 to 5 p.m. out here in North Hollywood. It's actually at a Victory Outreach Church that the pastor is letting me use his facilities, right? It's not a church event. They're just letting me use the facility for people to know. And what it is I'm trying to bring as many like-minded individuals, brown men and women, people of color, of course, to come in here and do what we just did, Paulie. Discuss our issues, discuss what's going on in our neighborhoods, get involved, start actually showing that, hey, we can actually unite, because what I've been hearing since I've been on YouTube, I've been hearing unity for the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, I've seen the car shows, I've seen the art shows, I've seen all the shows, and it is much, much more unified than when I was a kid, and that's a beautiful thing. But are we just going to say unity to sell shirts? Are we going to just sell unity to sell concert tickets? Or are we going to make this unity thing where we can actually start making political moves and getting out there where the real power plays are at, and stop with this little low-level gang banging stuff? Get in there, come in there. I'm going to have a few speakers that will speak finances. Brandon's going to go speak. I have a few. Paulie, if you'd like to come through, you're more than welcome to invite it, and you can speak as well. And what we're going to do is just share ideas with one another. But also, what it is, it's a place where we can actually network, because that's the goal, Paul. Like, the goal is to make the Cali Mac place, right? And the Cali Mac, for people who don't know, who hear me say this all the time, Cali Mac is an acronym for Central American, Latinos, Indigenous, Mexican American, Chicanos, where we can fall under one umbrella. Because for the last same amount of years that we've been killing each other in the streets of LA for gangs, we've been fighting one another. Okay, you're Central American, I'm Chicano, this guy's Latino. Those are those petty arguments that we've been in the corner fighting for 50 years while everybody else is fighting to get ahead in America. Everybody else has the movement except us, because we keep fighting for that. But I'm done fighting for that. And anybody who wants to come and join, please hit me up, email me at american1cholo@gmail.com, or you can hit my Instagram, RSVP, because it seats about 180. Right now we have RSVP probably about 60 or 70. I'm gonna take a couple more RSVP, and those guys will have their seats reserved, and everybody else may have to stand. We got food, we got jumper, we got stuff for the kids to do. It's right next to a park. There's gonna be security guards there, armed security guards. And it's going to be real quick. We're going to get down to business. 2 to 5 o'clock. It's not a place where you're going to go smoke a joint and drink a beer. Go do that at your house after the event. It's a place where brown men and women that are proud of who they are and want to change their community for the better, this is where it starts. This is where we're planning to sit together to make this thing grow, Paulie.
With the jumper, is that where the speakers are going to be? So while they're talking, they're going to have to be in the jumper going up and down, up and down.
That's where we're going to throw you, Paulie, right there.
Yeah.
There will be food. Yeah, we're going to have a taquero, and we're going to have some other food out there.
The beautiful Maria with tea and telly for $5. Cholo is so good at getting us fired up.
That's what we want, baby. That's what I like to hear.
We need more people like him. Thank you, Paulie, for having him.
Thank you, Maria. Share, man. That is our power.
Maria has an up-and-coming channel. She's almost to 1,000 subs.
Oh, very cool.
We should get Gill, get the Cholo to come on your show.
I'll be more than welcome. I'm more than happy to. More than happy to.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for all these awesome super chats. Let's do a little Mexican rant. Here we go.
He's a Mexican, he's not a Mexican. Look out, here he comes with another big rant.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, really, this whole show's been a nice big rant from movies and beyond. If we can get the Instagram American Cholo link, that'd be great in the chat. If any ranch is still there. Unite for Power is May 21st. 2 to 5 p.m. What you've been working on this for a while, right? You've thought about this for a while.
I thought about this since the first day I started YouTube.
Wow.
I thought about this, and it's all. I mean, the first stuff was kind of gangsta, but I've always thought about getting us together and really doing something. But it's just a few months ago, I'm driving home, and it just popped in my head. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Now the numbers on my YouTube are big enough. The credibility that I have is big enough. I'm not gonna wait for, But another thing, like I said on the thing, if I don't hit 100,000 by the end of the year, Paulie, I'm gone. So for people who know that, I'm gone.
What?
I'm gone. I'm retiring.
What?
I'm retiring.
Get out of here. You're at what, 50?
I'm at I'll be about 50 here, but I got a few on Instagram. I'm pushing it up there, but I'm gone.
Okay.
I'm
All
retiring,
right.
and the reason I'll tell you why I'm retiring. People say, "Oh, you're about the views." Man, I don't care about your views. I don't care about your subscript. Not the people, like people who sit there and say stuff like that, right? Because this is what I'm saying. If I was some knucklehead smoking crack, doing meth, doing some real stuff, some dumb stuff, I'll hit 100,000 like this, Paulie. I'm saying if I, with the message that I'm pushing, if I can't get you to share it to your people at work, the people who are watching to share it to their people at work, them to share it to their kids, them to share it to other people. If I can't get people just to do this, then there's no movement, and I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm here to fight, but I'm not here to sit here for do this for 5-10 years.
Let me tell you something. We have some really,
thank you, Vigilante.
Ladies and gentlemen that are living like kind of like, pushing that envelope on their channels, like Vigilante Williamson, in the chat, Orville Nation. We need to get American Cholo on Friday Night Tights.
Friday Night Tights.
We need to get you on Friday night. Have you heard of those guys?
I don't think so.
What do you guys think in the chat? You think Friday Night Tights is ready for the American Cholo? I do. I'm also to Chrissy Mayer's channel. Some of these more politically minded, channels. But you're, it's funny because my I don't know. I was just gonna say my only thing is, they don't want anyone to have. God, I shouldn't even say that. I feel bad saying this, but I'm gonna say it. If I come with saying like, I'm from the brown experience, like this is my perspective, they don't understand that, and I'm not looking to cause any trouble, cause any enemies, but I really don't care if you don't understand it. It's my brown experience.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We need to stop.
And you shouldn't have to be be so uncomfortable with that to where you're thinking that I'm attacking you, because I'm not. I'm just saying I'm claiming what my fucking identity is.
Yes,
and it's always been that. So but you know what? They're very respectful. But they got large crowds, bro.
That's great, but see, when we speak about our brown and our stuff, like especially with I, because people say, why are you always? Because this country was founded on race. It's easy to sit there and say, don't make it about race when you guys run Congress, you guys run the president, you guys run the Senate, you guys are most governors, you guys run everything. So it's easy to sit there. Imagine if the tables were turned and 80% of Congress and Senate were all Latinos. I can guarantee you the small percentage of white people say, like, we need more whites in there. And then we would say, are you making it about race? No, because we want representation, right? No taxation without representation. Well, I want somebody who represents somebody who has my traditions, my values, my this, because why? Hopefully they won't put these little homes next to my park where I coached Little League when I was younger. Hopefully they don't put them over here next to the schools. Hopefully they put them in every neighborhood, not just the minority neighborhood. That's why we need that representation.
Equalizer says, Friday Night Tights ready for American Cholo? Oh, hell yes. And Latino Slant as well. I want Gill to come on there. We'll talk, Gill, because
it sounds like fun already.
We need to get our just to get our point across out there more.
Of course.
There's also a great show called The Dark Council, where it's just basically African American nerds
Okay.
But
Yeah, intellectual
this
stuff.
right here,
Yep.
it's on point.
That's right.
And
I love that. I love those conversations. It's
yeah,
great to bring a different perspective of everybody's things. That way, you learn
yeah,
from one another.
yeah, yeah. We learn from. We got a couple more super chats. Orville Nation. Me ha encantado este stream, Paulie. Gracias, Cholo, de corazón. Oh, that's
Thank you,
nice.
Organization.
PJ
Thank you
is
so much.
PJ. Thank you so much, man. Vigilante Williamson with a super sticker, and it is 100% the super
That's
sticker.
right.
That's what's up. Man, I'm running out of videos. Yeah. Let's get some banda dancers in here. Banda dancers, dale. Okay, you talk about talent. Dedicate. I mean,
That's it right there, Paulie.
that hey, man, you know, we do it all. We
Yeah.
do it all.
You do a great job, man. You guys, you always have some great stuff. Your channel definitely needs to grow on a lot of everybody's channels, because with that, you share the message, man, and that's what we need to do. We need to support one another, and we need to sit there and have these conversations. And my thing is, don't stay silent. Don't be shy. Don't ever let them sit there and say, "Hey, you just join our thing." No, we want our own thing, because until we make our own table, have our own house, we will never have an equal seat at the table. So we need to make that power move and actually start making noise. And we just got to be brown and proud, man. There's nothing wrong with being brown. There's nothing wrong with being proud. And I think that has been taken away from us, and we need to get back to that.
What's really weird, because it's not only been taken away from us, it's used against us by both sides.
Mm-hmm.
By both sides. And that's where I've long stopped being a part of the Democratic Party, and there's just a huge cultural disconnect. But yeah, it's a new age. I love this age of of connecting, like you said, just through the phone.
Yes.
Let's read some chats, and then we'll get out of here. Is that cool?
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta go, Gill. Always much respect, Paulie. Thank you always, and education and pleasure. Always in education and pleasure. Got it. Let me see, Paulie. That's serious talent on those dancers. That's real raw talent. Orville Nation for $2. We need a Latin lead on the Orville, Seth. He's talking to Seth MacFarlane there.
Oh.
You ever watch the Orville Nation?
I don't think
the
so.
The Orville TV show?
No, I don't think I have.
Are you a sci-fi guy?
Oh, I do love sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi show. And
my wife doesn't like sci-fi. That's probably why I don't watch it so much.
Yeah, that's it right there.
When she's up to her thing, that's when I'll put the sci-fi, but I definitely like sci-fi.
Yeah. Vigilante Williamson says you can come on the Cultural Crime Fighters. We don't have the biggest numbers, but we are growing. That's absolutely a good show.
Absolutely.
Those guys, they don't, it's no bullshit on that show.
That's right. Yeah, you can get at Paulie. He'll get him. Now you can just hit me up on my YouTube and just leave me a message anywhere, and I'll shoot you my email. Then we can definitely do it. Absolutely, man.
Well, this is great. Convo couch. It'd be fun is we got to do a stream where we are in the same room or same table, and maybe we have some other. Maybe I'll what I'll do. We'll do a show together, and we'll have a musician come in.
When are you gonna come over here and sit at the table, Paulie?
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I
mean. Right? Here's where you're coming, right?
Yeah,
for sure,
But I'll bring some backup.
Yeah, for sure. That we can come in here, hit a couple of discussion, which that's what we need too, man. We need to sit here and have our own thing, just like NBC, just like Fox, like this, to sit there and talk about different stuff. And listen, like the what was that? Was it Field of Dreams? If we build it, they will come. I truly believe that.
Thank you guys so much. Darth Plato, a member of the channel, says Democrats I knew at Berkeley were very smug about attitudes towards Latinas. You have to vote for us. You're minorities.
Yeah, that's
No,
no,
we don't. We really don't.
Exactly.
We really don't.
But it's been a pleasure, Paulie.
Yep.
Thank all the subscribers, members, or people just here. Thank you guys for super chat and supporting this channel. But yeah, dude, I had a blast. Every time I come on here, it's always a great conversation. Anytime you want me back on, Paulie, you know I'm ready, willing, and able. I don't know if the YouTube's ready, but I know you are.
We're always ready. Gill, you take care. American Cholo, his link is in the chat in the video description. We'll see you soon, Gill.
That's all right, Paul. Appreciate it, buddy.
Peace. Wow. That was a fantastic discussion and a fantastic stream. If you missed any of it, hit the replay. We covered a lot, and we could keep on talking, and that's what's so great about having a discussion with another adult. So that was fun. Okay, there's new videos up on the channel almost every day, mainly on Latino entertainment. Next week we will have film critic Chris Gore of the Film Threat on live with us, and hopefully I'll get these whim chimes done. Before I hit the closing credits, let me see what some of you guys are saying. There he is. Where can we find? Let's get the cultural crime fighters for Terry Testicles. And thank you guys so much. Much love to you, Orville Nation. To all the Slantinos, if you're a member of the channel, let's go ahead and hit that Slantino. Let's hit those emojis right now. Here we go. Show your Slantino pride. Amazing conversation, right? Amazing topics. And let's if you have any comments, please get them to me, and we'll just keep sharing all these great ideas. Like I said, I normally don't have a politics heavy show on the channel, but sometimes the guests and the times demand it. And Gill of American Cholo is a unique soul, and I'm really, really excited that he was on. Thank you for this live. It was awesome. We'll definitely be coming back. Much love to you. Thank you, and thank you to our Slantinos that are still here. What am I doing next? I got some good stuff, guys. Just check out for videos, and we'll keep chiming in. I know my chimes are just out of control. Nice. All right, everyone, have a good evening or good morning wherever you're at. If you are a member of the channel, you will see your name in the closing credits. Be good, everyone. Paz, and wherever you're at, keep your slant fuerte.